The first thing you notice is the heat. It is not the ordinary warmth of a summer day, not the comforting glow of sunshine through your window. No, this heat feels alive, monstrous, crawling across your skin like fire ants, suffocating your lungs with smoke. The air is thick, heavy with ash, and the sky above Los Angeles is no longer blue. It is orange, red, and black colors of destruction. A wildfire has turned the city into a war zone. Sirens scream in the distance. Helicopters hover like angry bees. Families rush down the streets, clutching pets and children. And in the middle of this chaos stands Elena, a young woman who once dreamed of a bright future but now watches helplessly as her world crumbles into flames. Backhand index pointing right. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the importance of stories that remind us of our humanity, please take a moment to like this video, share it with others, leave a comment, and subscribe to Kindness Pulse. Together, we can use these stories to spread light in a world that often feels too dark. Elena had always called Los Angeles home. She loved the vibrant streets, the music, the laughter spilling from cafes, and the dreams that painted the air with possibility. She lived in a small house on the edge of the hills with her younger brother Mateo and their mother. Their father had passed away years earlier, and Elena, though still in her 20s, had become a second parent to Mateo. Their lives were modest but full of love. That love, however, was now being tested in ways she never imagined. The wildfire had started days earlier in the hills, a spark carried by dry winds across parched earth. At first, it seemed distant, a problem for someone else, a story on the news. But fires grow quickly when the land is dry and the winds are strong. By the time Elena smelled smoke in her neighborhood, the flames were already moving closer, hungry and unstoppable. The power lines flickered, the water supply grew uncertain, and the evacuation order came through like a cold knife to the heart. Packing their lives into a few bags felt like betrayal. How do you choose which memories to save when you only have minutes? Her mother clutched family photos, Mateo carried his guitar, and Elena gathered a few clothes. The rest, her father's books, the little trinkets from childhood, the home itself, they left behind. As they drove away, the fire glowed in the rearview mirror like a beast chasing them, its roar echoing in the hills. The shelter was crowded, filled with strangers who were also broken by loss. Families huddled together on cots, the air heavy with fear and grief. Children cried for toys left behind, parents whispered about insurance, and everyone coughed from the smoke that still clung to their lungs. Elena sat with her mother and brother, trying to stay strong, but inside she was crumbling. She thought about her father, about how he had once promised to protect them. She thought about her dreams of becoming a teacher, dreams that now seemed so fragile, so meaningless in a world on fire. But the wildfire was more than a personal tragedy. It was part of a larger truth that could no longer be ignored. Climate change had turned Los Angeles into a tinderbox. Summers were hotter, rains were fewer, and winds were stronger. Scientists had warned for decades that this would happen, but warnings had been buried under politics and denial. Now the consequences were no longer distant. They were here, burning homes, destroying futures, and stealing lives. Elena realized that she and her family were not just victims of fire, but of humanity's neglect. Days turned into weeks, and when the fires were finally contained, Elena returned with her family to see what remained. The neighborhood was unrecognizable. Houses had collapsed into ash, cars stood as melted skeletons, and the once green hills were charred black. Her own home was gone, everything her father had built, every memory, every corner where laughter once echoed. It was all dust now, carried away by the wind. Mateo stood silently, his guitar case still in hand, tears streaking his soot-covered face. Their mother sank to her knees, clutching the earth, whispering prayers into the smoke. Elena felt hollow, as though she had lost not just a house, but a part of herself. Yet in the silence of destruction, something stirred within her. She remembered the way neighbors had shared food in the shelter, the way firefighters had risked everything even after losing their own homes, the way volunteers had come with clothes, blankets, and words of comfort. She remembered how her brother had played his guitar to calm frightened children, how her mother had told bedtime stories to kids who couldn't sleep. Even in the face of loss, humanity had shown its strength. Elena decided she would not let the fire define them. She began volunteering at relief centers, helping distribute supplies and translating for families who spoke little English. She joined climate awareness groups, attending community meetings where survivors demanded stronger environmental policies. She spoke to young students about the importance of protecting the earth, using her own story as a reminder that climate change was not just science, it was life and death. Each action, though small, felt like a spark of hope in the ashes. Her brother Mateo found healing in music. He began writing songs about the fire, songs that carried both pain and resilience. He performed at shelters, his voice rising above sorrow like a balm for wounded hearts. Their mother, though forever scarred by loss, became a source of quiet strength, always reminding them that survival was itself a victory. Together, they rebuilt not just their lives but also their sense of purpose. The wildfire had destroyed much, but it had also revealed truths they could no longer ignore. Climate change was real, urgent, and devastating. But it was not unstoppable. Just as communities had come together in the face of fire, humanity could come together to fight for a better future. Elena realized that the future was not written in flames, it could still be shaped by compassion, courage, and collective action. And maybe that is the lesson we all need to remember. We cannot turn back time, we cannot erase the fires, but we can decide what comes next. We can plant trees where ashes lie, we can reduce the harm we cause to the earth, and we can stand together in the face of fear. If one wildfire can destroy a city, imagine what millions of hearts united in kindness can rebuild. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with your friends, leave a comment, and subscribe to Kindness Pulse. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that remind the world of hope, resilience, and the power of second chances. Special request before we end, please comment below what climate change means to you. Do you see it as despair, or do you see it as a reason to act? Your words could inspire someone else to rise from their own ashes and find hope.